welcome to How Obsessed Are You with me, Hetty Austin.
Myself, Sanjay Arif.
And me, Nathan Eagle.
We are three friends. We met on the comedy circuit. We had lots of interests and hobbies that we get quickly obsessed about, and then we get all the stuff for it, and then a week later we've dropped the hobby like it was nothing. And we sit and we discuss those hobbies in a shed.
We wallow in a lot of failure, don't we?
We do, yes.
Failed hobbies.
Yes.
Things we've tried to do and given up on, and then discuss that.
Yes, that's it.
Normally,
Everyone's got a failed hobby.
yeah.
It's normal. We just got a lot more.
People can't understand how many.
We're broken people.
Someone said like, oh, you could do this to the format. So if you run out of ideas or you run out of hobbies you've got that to back it up. And I was like, we won't run out. We will never
Who
run
said
out.
that to you? I know, he said that to me in a car the other day.
I can't remember who.
Duncan said it to me. That's all he said. He was just talking about it.
In case you run out of ideas. What
yeah,
was
because I
his?
said I was worried about running out of obsessions.
Oh, what
Then I
what
think
could you do?
two probably have loads, don't you?
You got loads as well. You don't even realise it
Yeah,
sometimes.
we have to tell you what your obsessions are.
You're like, is that an obsession? It's like, yes, Nathan.
If
You're
anything,
doing
you're
it at
the
like
most
2 in the morning.
obsessive out of all of us.
No, I don't think
we're
that's
all
true.
pretty. In different ways.
Why do you think that?
You lost 10 stone, mate.
Yeah, but
'Cause
that
you
I
were
put on 10
obsessed.
stone. That ain't easy either. That takes a lot of work.
Right, what's
Right.
No,
happening?
Dave, you haven't put on 10 stone.
Well, no, you obviously
haven't.
bloody haven't. Nathan is needy today. Nathan is like,
are.
tell me I look nice. You know what? Your cardigan, you look nice in your cardigan.
you.
You look smart. Hetty hasn't told you look like shit once.
No.
You're
So when
looking
she
good.
looks at me, she
Yeah,
does this
yeah.
look.
Like to see them come Lindy hop dancing.
Dear. Couldn't do it.
Who
Couldn't
said
do
that?
it. Can't do
Or
it.
Northern said that to you.
And Northern. This is the only accent that
Yeah.
you can do. Yeah. You did a good Scouser.
Did a Scouser.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an
Really
Northern
good.
accent,
Yeah.
isn't
Do
it?
it again.
Of all the songs they could sing, why can't they sing a better song?
That's really
Very
I think
good,
that's very
Hetty.
good.
I'm
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
surprised because you're not normally a voice person, are you?
My inner voice accent is a West Country accent.
That's mental.
I always think a bit like this. It's just naturally in my
Oh
head.
God.
That is how I.
Is that real?
Yeah, yeah,
Have
yeah.
you done that on stage?
No.
'Cause
That
that's
is
funny.
just how
That's
That's
funny.
just how I think.
Right. Okay.
Sanjay,
Yes.
what are you currently obsessed with?
I'm going to say I'm currently obsessed with The Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
Da, 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 da. Swish, swish.
I fell asleep in The Lord of the Rings.
What's taters?
I've never seen it.
I can understand why someone would fall asleep in,
Oh,
in
always-
Lord of the
always-
Rings.
I
It's
did-
not
I
for
did, I
everyone.
did drink as a teenager. That was part of the reason. No, I fell asleep in Garfield as well.
But there's 3 movies. Did you fall asleep
Oh,
in
I
all
think
of
I
them?
have seen
I
them.
think I only went to see the first one with my friends. It was just-
Ah.
but it was never for me.
The
man.
first one is very slow.
I'm fairly certain I've seen all 3.
I
my
assume
God.
you would. Yeah, because
Um,
it's I assume you watched them with your ex
No.
boyfriend. No, what? That's the most shocking
Saw
thing
them in
to
the
me.
cinema.
Did you?
Who'd you
With
go
who?
with?
Your mum?
I think I did go with my mum and dad. Yeah.
Oh,
interesting.
That is. I mean, it was quite a big phenomenon.
Yeah, I think we went with my auntie's husband at the time, and I think he had the shits during the second one. He had to keep coming in and out. And, he had the worst farts.
Did you miss the Battle of Helm's Deep?
Well, I don't know. I can't remember.
Why do?
My
What?
oh,
Sorry.
No, go on.
Sorry, you go on.
No, go on.
You go on.
My ex-boyfriend wanted. That was one of the last things when we were together. He was like, "Oh, let's watch Lord of the Rings
All the way
extended
through.
version. Let's spend a weekend doing that."
That'll
And I
keep us
thought-
together.
Listen, I'm gonna.
Mount.
I'm gonna drop. I'm gonna drop a bomb right now. People aren't gonna believe this. I've never seen the extended version of Lord of the Rings.
I can believe that. It's
Never
fucking
seen-
boring.
Never seen it. Oh, but I love it. I would love it. I just haven't had the opportunity to watch it. Apparently, Are they doing a re-release? They're releasing the extended version
they?
at the cinema.
Fuck.
I'll go. I bloody love it. Bloody love it.
I've got a friend for you can go with.
Yep. Who is it?
Jarrett will go. He wants
I'll
to
go
go
with
see the
Jarrett.
extended ones. Yeah.
I'll go with
There you
Jarrett.
go.
Jarrett and I used to text all the time about 3D printing, and then I got my printer and I cut him out, and now I'm jealous that he's always asking about Nath.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, how's Nath doing?
I don't care about Jarrett in any way.
How's that geezer? But I do.
It's a bit like how all your friends
Alison.
eventually become friends with Alison because she's better.
My wife steals all my friends, yeah. But
she's a good woman.
She's lovely.
She is.
Oh dear. Right, I'm waiting for you to ask me something about Lord of the
Yes.
Rings.
Sorry.
Okay, so we've said that. Are you keen on it?
Yeah.
I am not keen on it. It doesn't seem my cup of tea. I would like you to tell me why I should like Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
I don't think I can.
Okay.
I don't think.
Let's finish it then.
Yeah. I don't think that the Lord of the Rings movies are for everyone,
No.
and I think even less the books. The books are for even less
Oh,
people.
yeah.
But are you was you a book
I'm
person?
through the books. That's why I love it. Like,
Did you grow up with those books?
so, little old Sanjay. I always struggled to read at school. Like, I couldn't read like See Spot Run. Like, I just didn't have the attention span to read the sentence on the page. So, like, I always had an assistant with me. Like,
Yeah, I know. I mean, helper lady.
yeah, to try to be like, read the next word, read the next sentence. And I didn't care about that, dog. I just didn't care. And then I found a copy of The Hobbit, which I don't know if you might not know this. Do you know about The Hobbit?
Yeah, I read The Hobbit.
But do you know it was so Tolkien wrote that, and then that was like the springboard for the whole universe afterwards. And so I read The Hobbit, which is a children's book. He used to read it to his children at bedtime, I think. Did I make that fact up? Is that true? Am I getting confused with?
It was a children's book.
So I couldn't read it like a really simple low level. You know you have all the what? What's funny? I know there's something funny about this. I couldn't read.
Sorry.
I think it's because there was a pause. You went, I couldn't read. And then it's like a real clean pause after you said that.
It's my attention. I couldn't read.
Yeah, I really struggled. I can't remember when I read the Hobbit. I think I might have been about 8 or 9, something like that. And at that age, I really struggled to read simple books, and I was like in all the lower sets for reading and stuff. But I think there was just a copy of The Hobbit in the house. I don't know how it got there, or probably my mum bought it. But I could just read it. I was like so interested in the story, and I think I don't know if you get the same thing. If you're interested in something, you pay. You pay attention
100%.
to it.
I can't read a book, but if I like the book is gone within 2 hours.
Yeah, you devour it. But I'd never been interested by a story before then. But we all agree on the thing about you can only read something you're interested in.
Yes.
And I was interested
100%.
in that, yeah. And it was just super significant to me that was the first book I'd read. Oh, she's gonna. We're not gonna get through it. Do we just have to abandon this?
No.
I'm going to look over here.
Because we need another
Yeah,
one.
sorry.
Oh, I don't want to be sincere now.
No,
I feel
keep going.
embarrassed.
You've made him
Sorry.
embarrassed.
I feel too embarrassed to be sincere.
Oh, sorry.
I can't
Come
be
on.
sincere. I've got to be joking now. I like the goblins.
No, go on.
I wish I was a
I
goblin.
want you to be
I was
goblin. I want you to be
interested
goblin.
in
The-
It's because I'm thinking of the meme where it's like
which one?
where it's like big instrumental music. I really like the soundtrack to Lord of the Rings.
It's always
And
very
it's,
good.
It's
Very atmospheric.
it's like all the times the women have spoken to each other, not about men, and it's a kid going to the mum, "Oh, what should we have for dinner?" And that's it.
Oh, in Lord of the
Yeah,
Rings?
yeah. And it really, I can't really
I think
explain it.
Is that line even in it? That
I
must be
can't
the
even
extended
explain
one.
it. It just makes me laugh so much, and that's all I can think of.
I mean,
Sorry.
it's a
Is
very
Lord of the
well-
Rings seen as a man film?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I mean, and it's the writing of it. I think he thinks he's he's got some empowered women in it in the books.
It's not. I want to call it bechamel, but that's cheese, isn't it? 'Cause I've got
Bechamel
food
sauce.
food on the brain.
Bechamel.
What is the test?
The test.
Yeah, when it's
Oh,
like
with
how many women talk about things that aren't men.
What?
There's a specific.
Oh yeah, I know
I
what you mean. But that's like applied to movies mostly,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah, yeah. And then, but this is
Yeah,
a movie, but then
sorry.
from the books. I think there's two prominent.
What are you fucking talking about?
There's a thing.
Yeah, you can watch a movie and you can make note of how many times a woman speaks.
Yeah.
So how many lines
Oh.
does she have, and how many of those lines are not about a
men.
man? Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I get you. Oh, yes, I know
And, like,
exactly what you mean.
And that's
now.
and that's
I thought you was on about like in real life.
you know, because there's so many people who go, oh, there's the woke agenda putting more women in movies, making women the leads, blah blah blah. There's not a problem, and it's like, well, how many times did the women in this movie talk?
Yeah.
And how many times was
it about men?
Yeah, about a man. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But the wording is
Sorry,
how many
it's not
times
bechamel
it's-
sauce. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bechamel sauce.
Yeah. So you like the book, The
I
Hobbit?
like The Hobbit.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it was really
So you
significant.
started reading it at school because that was one of the things that you first learned how to read because you were interested in it.
Yes, but I read it at home. I
Yeah.
didn't read it at school. At school, they were trying to get me to read these like picture books.
That's what I mean. So you
And
couldn't read
they
Spot
were
Run.
just boring. I didn't care. I didn't care about Spot. I didn't care about where he was
No, he's
going,
a
and I
prick.
couldn't read the books.
yeah.
Yeah. Whereas The Hobbit,
A Hungry Caterpillar's a dick as well.
yeah, Hungry Power, what prat. But have you heard this? I am a hobbit and I live in a hole. You heard that line?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
So apparently, a student submitted a piece of work to Tolkien when he was teaching, and he hadn't done the work. He just wrote, "I am a hobbit and I live in a hole,"
Yeah.
and apparently that's what made Tolkien think, "I'm gonna think about this thing and then write a story about the hobbits."
That's insane.
Wow,
Yeah, but
is
I don't know
that
if
true?
it's. I don't know.
So one of those kind of weird.
But I feel like the book I had that was on the first page.
Well, I am a hobbit.
It says I'm a hobbit and I live in a hole. And I genuinely was like, what's a hobbit?
Yeah.
And I think that might have been what
Triggered
Tolkien
your
thought,
interest.
if it's true. Yeah, and then I just started reading it, and I just found it so fascinating.
Was the Hobbit a thing before the Hobbit?
This is the thing about Tolkien. He created so much that we take for granted
'Cause
now.
I feel like a Hobbit was a. That's nuts.
Wasn't
I've
a
never
thing.
thought about that.
Yeah.
It wasn't a thing, was it?
He created so many types of things that are now like standard fantasy, like the way he portrayed elves and the way he portrayed
part of
and like
the-
orcs as a whole. I think are completely his. I don't think they existed before him. And goblins, his portrayal of them, dwarfs, his portrayal of them, and stuff. We're not
No,
going
because
to
I'm thinking about something else now.
You're
Sorry.
going to tell us.
No, because there was
If you're going to go on.
There was one time I was in university with my friend Joe Thompson, and we were like in this room, and all of a sudden we heard like this weird jaunty music, and he was like, "Oh, some funky orcs downstairs." Made us laugh.
What's an orc?
Made us
Yeah.
laugh for like 20 minutes.
That's
That was
funny.
it.
I know a girl who used to call her breast orcs, like juicy orcs.
Oh,
Do you
Yeah,
think
yeah.
she meant norks?
yeah.
Maybe she did. Maybe
Yeah.
she was just dyslexic.
Oh, a lovely pair of norks.
I'm sure she used to say orcs.
Because that is a meme. When,
Oh, is it?
Well, because they're slang is norks.
Norks.
You say orcs instead, and then just have two like orc heads
Maybe
instead
I
of boobs.
I like
misheard her.
orcs.
The name, the way you say it, or the actual orcs.
Not like actual orcs.
Very ogreish.
Yeah.
They go together.
Yeah.
Ogres and
What is
Ogres
an
and
orc?
orcs.
an orc, like green,
So it's a bit like an
savage.
What type of man?
In Lord of the Rings, they're thought to be corrupted elves. They used to be elves, and they've corrupted over time into a race of savage green monsters.
So Tolkien created this whole world.
Yeah, and then he wrote the Lord of the Rings books, which is like 1,000-page long saga of this thing that happened in the world, which I really, really liked as well. And then he wrote another book, which I haven't read, called The Silmarillion. I think it's called that, and it's got loads of like history in this world he created, and people love it. But I can't get on with that one because it's very bitty. It's not
So
like
a
a
Lord of the
horrible
Rings book,
story.
is it just one book?
The Lord of the Rings book is 6 books.
Oh, okay.
But they are grouped together into 3 books,
Right.
which is the Fellowship of the Ring, the first one, which has book 1 and 2, and then the Two Towers. Is that right? This is the second one, which has book 3 and 4, and then the Return of the King, which is the last book, which has book 4, 5, and
Okay.
6. And they're very long, but I like them. But the reason I'm really like into Lord of the Rings at the moment is because I've been reading it to my daughter. And she's 11 now, but we started it when she was 10, and so we've read the whole book together, and she loves it as well.
Did you
She's
start
like,
with The Hobbit or?
yes, I read The
Okay.
Hobbit. I think I must have read The Hobbit to her when she was like 6, and she loved it. And she was like, "Can we watch the movies?" I was like, "No, the Hobbit movies don't
Yeah.
exist."
Oh, do you not like the Hobbit
No,
movies?
I don't like them. It's crap.
Didn't Peter Jackson? Is it Peter Jackson?
It is Peter
Yeah.
Jackson, yeah.
Didn't
yeah.
he kind of like get a bit too much yes men around him?
Yeah,
so
yeah. I
made
think he
like
just
a
had no one to
bit like what happened
disagree
to
with him. Lucas
yeah, same thing, innit?
and Spielberg.
You just need someone
all
to
of
go,
them.
oh, slow the fuck down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much
Not
because
Spielberg. Because Spielberg does good choices all the time.
no, he's got some bad ones.
Go on, him.
Ready Player One?
I don't think it was that bad.
Really bad.
I don't think it is.
I've read the book
Oh,
because
is it
I
a book?
read now.
I didn't even know it was a book.
The book is not
Did you know it was a book?
amazing.
Did you even know it was a movie?
I
Did
don't
you?
even know what you're talking about.
This is a movie.
Is
But
it not?
The book,
I didn't know it was a book. I really did not know.
Who are you talking about?
It's Spielberg.
Who's that?
Shut up.
I don't believe you.
Shut
that
up.
you don't know who Steven
She knows,
Spielberg
she knows.
is.
She's being a dickhead. He did amazing movies in the 80s.
Oh, I know.
No, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Nath. I'm not explaining it now.
His hair is really hungry. It's like she's literally
She has
drunk.
gone mental.
It's like, I feel like she's had like 5 glasses
She's
of
playing
red wine.
us. She's playing us. But the
She's being a
problem
troll.
is, she's being me and you, and that's one person can't be that much of
It's too much.
It's too much derailment. yeah. It's impossible because we have to get an episode out of this.
Yeah,
Like,
we're going to. We're going
And
to.
we're even doing one that I'm
being
not like that like
mischief.
protective of.
Menace. Yeah.
I'm not even protective of this
Also,
one
we can.
because Lord of the Rings, like, it's standalone. The people who love it, and like it's not on me. It's not like I'm a weirdo for loving Lord of the Rings.
No.
It's
No,
hugely,
But it's nice that you're obsessed with it at the minute because it's actually really sweet that you're sharing it with your
Oh,
daughter.
it's so nice.
But did your dad share it with you?
No, my dad don't read.
That's what I mean. Like, so.
I found The Hobbit myself, so it's
so
my
you found
It's
that
his
yourself,
thing.
Yeah, it's
and
my
now
personal.
It started with you and your family.
Yeah.
So
it
you're
did.
passing it to your daughter. So it's a legacy.
Passing the torch.
It's a legacy that started with you. Is your son not interested?
He will be, yeah.
Oh, he's a bit
but
too young.
We couldn't get through The Hobbit, really. He hasn't got the
Isn't
attention
it quite?
span.
I don't know. I always thought they were quite complex books.
I
presume they were
I
like
remember
adult-y
reading-
children,
That's
but
why.
smart children.
That's why I read Lord of the Rings to her.
Yeah.
So when she was 6, I read her The Hobbit, and I think she may have read it herself since, but I'm not sure.
She's quite bright,
She
your
reads
daughter,
so much. Yeah.
She's a reader,
got
anyway.
hundreds of books.
She's one of those readers.
She's one of them
I used
readers.
to be
She's
one
one
of
of
those
those.
readers.
She's
I
one of,
know,
she's one of those
Yeah.
dangerous women with thoughts of her own.
Yeah, reading those books. Start reading
I
those books. Get in the kitchen.
She's
I
literally
feel-
got a library in her room.
That's
I feel
One
sad.
wall
Burn
is
it.
all
Burn
books.
that library.
I feel sad that I'm not a reader anymore because
No,
it was
me too.
such a passion of mine when I was a kid.
Yeah, but do you know when I used to read the most? It's when people split out of me. I had.
then you were lonely.
It literally happened maybe. Yeah,
It's
three
fine.
times.
You've read 2 books. You read
Right.
3
No,
books.
no.
No.
But I would get red. Not red wine. It's when I used to drink Blossom Hill Fresh and Fruity white wine, and I would literally stay in my bedroom and read. I remember one day. Did you ever read One Day? There's a film of it as well. With it's not very good films on Netflix, but I would read the whole.
It's got a new series out, isn't it, at the minute?
Yeah, I didn't watch it because I remember the film was really. I love that book, but the film is.
Well, apparently the series is really good. It's
I've
more
heard that as
appropriate
well.
to the book. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, but that's what I used to do. I'm like you. I've got when I used to look after this lad in the hospital, his living carer. I used to save books.
I steal his books.
I used to steal his book. No, I used to save books.
Yeah.
So I'd walk past. I've got some weird books, like
Yeah.
books that I'm not going to show anyone that I've got. But it's because I'd see them and they look all dusty and hot, like in pain almost.
Like,
No,
"Gotta
but I'm
read
going to take
book."
that book home.
Yeah,
And I
that's
would
nice.
read some of it. I didn't read all of it, but there's one book I've got that it was called His Bright Light, and it's about someone with manic depression. Depression. It's, to this day, it's one of the best books I've ever read.
Because I was saying the other day, I said when I go down the beach, I could take a book down and read, and I'll be like, oh my god, I can take a book and I can read. And I
Yeah.
was quite excited about it. And then someone said to me, "You don't read? Like,
Yeah.
I can't imagine you sitting still enough to read. What are you talking about?" And then I was like, "Well, I used to do it all the time."
They
Oh,
do take a lot
yeah.
longer than a movie.
Yeah, but why? But why do you think people stop?
Time,
Because I
it
was the
takes a
same.
long
I used
time.
to read, and I used to love it. but
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was like
think
my
I could
favourite
now.
thing.
I don't think I genuinely don't think I could.
I go through
Couldn't get through
phases.
a chapter.
I go through phases of reading, and I will devour
Yes.
books,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I won't read. Like
Yes.
I haven't read I haven't fully read a book, like myself,
I only read
in
fiction,
maybe a
though.
couple of years. But most of my reading time has been reading Lord of the Rings to my daughter. But yeah, no, I haven't just sat and read a book. Whereas like when Game of Thrones, I didn't know about it until the series came
I
out,
didn't know about the books.
and then when I knew there were books, I was like, well, I'm going to read them all. And I
Yeah,
just
do you know what's interesting with Game of
blasted
Thrones? I
through
always put those types of things in the same. I put Game of Thrones with Lord of Rings.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I don't know
they're similar.
why that is.
I'm attracted to
'cause-
that,
but I
that
had
kind
the-
of media.
But I had
so-
the same feeling with Game of Thrones because I didn't watch it for years. And then I was like, oh, do you know what? I'm gonna watch it, and I did love it.
We were
Yeah.
the same. I was the same.
I didn't watch it for years.
Yeah,
it
we came in quite near towards the end, to be honest.
I was even later. Literally
But
later.
Game of Thrones is quite unique.
But then I watched it and I was like, wow, this is great.
It's a bit different to all the other sort of like fantasy genre. It's more of like a political thriller, really.
People say
with dragons and boobs. Yeah, that was the real sell, wasn't it?
Tits in it.
Boobs.
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine the pitch me.
In Lord of the Rings.
It's a political fear. It's about the politics of the world. No,
Tits
in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take it.
That's what I need to get you into Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Tits in it. And just like put some in.
It's very PG though, isn't it, Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, pretty much. The movies are, yeah, and the books as well. There's nothing really.
I remember my mum and my auntie really getting obsessed over Aragorn.
Aragorn?
Is it the blonde
King?
one?
No, that's Legolas.
That's Legolas.
Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, I fancied Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, that's Legolas.
But my
Legolas. Yeah, a lot of people fancied him, didn't they, back then? That's his first kind of... wasn't that his first...
Yeah, that and Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh,
Pirates of the Caribbean, Orlando Bloom.
What, over
It was
Depp?
a heartthrob.
Yeah.
Over Depp.
You choose Depp over Bloom?
No, Bloom.
Yeah. I would say most people would in Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, I don't agree
Depp
with
wasn't. That. No, he wasn't like a
I do not
heartthrob
agree with
character. He was for the weirdos.
No, I do not agree with that. I think most people found Depp more attractive.
Not in the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Well, this is a poll that we should take.
I would say majority of people. He like Orlando Bloom was like the romantic.
No. Johnny Depp was rugged, and that's what women really.
He wasn't rugged. He was all like.
Yeah, he was drunk. He was quirky.
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
I
yeah,
can
you're
100% guarantee more people found Depp attractive.
Yeah, because at the start of the franchise, I was all about Orlando Bloom. By the end of it, it's Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
dirty.
For women,
yeah.
for women, Depp.
But not now.
He's rough around the edges.
Not now.
Yeah, but I think he
He's
attracts.
drunk. Women love drunks.
But he attracts the weirdo. I think he's the weirdo's choice.
I think you're being horrible about women.
What's new?
No, I think Orlando Bloom was clean, and he was like, I can understand a younger,
clean choice.
Teenage.
He's not my choice.
No, mine's
but I
Depp
just think
all the
he
way.
would be
Yeah, so
the more
you would
popular.
like Depp.
I would like Depp. Yeah,
but you are a weirdo.
I'm a
You're
weirdo. There
Me
we
too.
go. Yep.
When Lord of the Rings films came out, how excited were you?
Blew my mind.
Right. And when you went to see it, were you like amazed by it?
Shit my pants.
Or did you?
No, but genuinely, was you scared?
Yeah,
they
were
were
you?
gonna fuck it up?
Because I was a Harry Potter fan and I never really liked the films.
I wasn't too worried. I wasn't
Seriously?
super.
Well, none of them.
No, because they weren't as good as the books.
I thought they did a good job. with the
No,
films.
terrible.
I never read.
No, I haven't
books.
read the books.
I
But
thought the consensus was that most people thought the films were good.
No, if you're a proper die-hard Harry Potter book fan.
Oh, so is that a common thing?
oh really?
I thought people thought they were quite good.
surprised.
There's so many plot holes that don't make a lot of the films don't make sense.
I've never heard anyone
No, I
complain
haven't.
about
I
the
thought
Harry,
people were
Harry
like,
Potter
oh, yeah, they
films.
did a good job there.
No, everything I think is the scenery is amazing and most of the cast is well cast. I always hated the three Harry, Ron, and Hermione. I always thought they were really weak actors in it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well,
No,
because they were
yes.
No,
Yeah,
no,
children.
no,
It doesn't make a
it
difference.
doesn't make a
Because
difference.
I always thought this about English kids actors suck in comparison to American actors because they're not beaten enough.
Yeah.
Because
exactly why.
there's like child protection
But
laws
you can
here.
genuinely, you can
No,
see it.
they're
like
so
in
wooden.
movies.
Because
Yeah,
I always
agree.
wanted the boy from my family to be Harry Potter. He would have been a much better Harry Potter than Daniel Radcliffe.
The boy from your family.
Wasn't
My
he too
family.
old
Oh,
by
I thought
then?
you meant your actual
Yeah.
family then.
There's a boy in your family
Yeah, it's like,
hidden
what?
under the stairs.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's in the other
Was
shed
he-
behind.
yeah. Was he the right age?
You missed a really good joke. That was a really
sorry,
good
what did
joke.
you do?
Hidden under the stairs.
that was a good joke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know I made it. Bad.
So how old were you when the films came out?
Oh God, don't work out my age now. I can't remember when they came out. 2000?
This was like 2007ish, wasn't it?
No. The
No?
first Lord of the Rings was. I was
I was very young.
still at school, I think.
Yeah, I remember going. I must
Might
have
have been like 99. Oh God, I don't know that.
No, it was not 99. There's no way it was 99. I'm
gotta
going to
be
say. I want to
2000
take a
plus.
guess. I'm going to say 2007.
One.
I think
2001.
I think it's 2001.
I don't think it's that early. I think 2005 then.
It's 2001. So yeah, I was still at school.
And when did the first one finish? 2005.
Hey! Well, the first one, 2001. Then they released another one the next year, and another one the next year. So they were all out by 2003.
So you properly loved the films then? You didn't think?
Yeah, I wasn't too concerned that they were going to ruin it, and there was so much media hype at the time. Anyway, there were so many like making of movies and stuff. You were I kind of knew what it was going to look like.
Yeah.
Right. They showed a lot of things. What was amazing in the movie, in that you didn't realize from all the making of documentaries and stuff, which I watched because I just wanted to know everything about the movie, was just the visuals showing how vast the world. Just shots of New Zealand, basically.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
There's so many shots of the landscape.
Yeah.
It really got across the sort of epicness of the books, because the books it's so good at world building, and then Peter Jackson managed to show it almost exactly as you imagined it. And
do you know what I think probably helped films like that back then from like getting hate is the fact that social media was a really thing.
Yeah,
that's true, because it did. There are people that complain about it. Like,
but you can imagine that could have turned into like
a big hate thing. Yeah.
I remember there being a lot of hype about Lord of the Rings.
It's massive.
Yeah, I remember it being massive.
Yeah.
It was massive.
Yeah.
And I remember...
Like deservedly so.
But like going to the cinema and be like, oh God, this is amazing. And thinking, oh God, this is really long. It's a really long film.
It's so
I don't understand what's happening. Yeah.
And the books are even longer.
We must have been really young though. 2001.
Yeah, 10.
Yeah, we would have been 10. Fuck me.
Yeah.
Must have been the second one I went to see then. I remember going to see one when I was a teenager.
Because I can sit down, because my daughter's 11 now, and she'll watch it and enjoy it because we've read the books. So like, it was so much fun watching it with her, because she was audibly like, wow, and like she'd just be like, they're exactly how I imagined them, or like that looks exactly what I thought it would. She's so excited. But if I watched it with my son, who we haven't read the books, he would find it boring, because he's just like, there's a lot of drawn out stuff, But yeah, because
I see what you mean. So it almost helps the experience.
Yeah, I don't think it's super gripping movie. It's just a really good translation of the book. Yeah, really,
that's what
really
he was going
good.
for, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think he was. It felt like one of those movies where it's like, oh, this guy actually wants to please the fans.
He's quoted, and I've seen him in like making of documentaries when he's like, I know how precious Lord of the Rings is to people, and I'm so worried about doing a good job, and that effectively made it such a good movie that he just treated it with so much respect. And then I can't remember if I've talked to you about this, but I think the next movie he did after Lord of the Rings was King Kong.
Yeah.
And so that was King Kong is what got him into like directing and wanting to work in movies. So that was his passion project. And he just killed it.
Fucked it up.
Oh, it was awful. It was way too long.
I remember seeing that in cinema.
Yeah, it's really boring. And at the end, Jack Black's character even said, like, they say of Jack Black's character, who brings King Kong to the mainland because he wants everyone to see him. They say, oh, he's not a bad person. He just destroys everything he loves. Yeah. He makes a spectacle of it. And it's like, does Peter Jackson know that line's in the movie? Like, that's what he's done to what he loves so much. He's ruined King Kong. Just given too much free reign, I think.
How much is the best of them, though?
What's that? Oh, yeah.
How much is the best of them?
It does. Spielberg?
Yeah.
I know that one.
Anyway.
Lord of the Rings. Lovely Lord of the Rings. The visuals were cool. I liked it a lot.
So, and have you watched all of them with your daughter?
Yes, we've watched them all now. So we read the first book.
Yeah.
And then we watched the first movie. And then we read the second book and watched the second movie.
Oh, so you did it like that? So you didn't read all the books and then watch the movies?
No, it would have been too
That's a good way of doing it.
And it was really fun. And each one...
So the book was so fresh in her mind.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's good.
It's fantastic. They've got to be some of the best experiences
that's
of
the
my
only...
life.
That is, do you know what? You prick. No. And do you know what? That's the only time I think, oh, that would be nice to have a kid and do that.
Yeah.
That's the only time. But that is the only time I think, oh, that would be nice to share something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Pass it on.
But
then again, I feel like that's like an arrogant thing.
But then,
so I want to share something that I love.
Yeah, because I think
Just because I want.
Because I would think, whenever she watches Lord of the Rings when she's an old lady, she might think of watching that with me.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
So it's that's me being self-obsessed again, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes. But yeah, I didn't do. I just wanted to share something I loved so much.
Because I would like to show my kids, my imaginary child, every now and then. I would like to show it all of the tied to Terminator and things like that. Like the idea of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Well, there are movies when they're old enough.
When it's a bit older.
Yeah, there's stuff we'll watch when they're like adults.
Just the thought of doing that is kind of cool. Like this is
really nice.
This is an amazing movie. You need to watch this movie.
Yeah, I expect there's. I can't think which ones, but I bet there's stuff that like if they experienced it themselves or they watched it with their friends, I'd be so disappointed. I'd be like,
you want them to watch it with you.
I wish I could have done that.
Because you want them to have the same feeling you had when you saw it. I get that even with friends though. Like even with my wife. Like I really want you to watch this
everyone
movie.
has that, everyone wants to share their positive experience.
Yeah, to enjoy this as much as I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I like that. I rarely...
Like Titanic with you.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
I ruined it for you, sorry.
Well, no, you didn't ruin it for us, but...
Yeah, we thought you was going to
We
cry.
really thought you were going to like it.
Yeah, but for the wrong reasons.
I did cry for the wrong reason. I just pretended it wasn't.
Just self-centered again. Why can't I feel love?
Yeah, but so that is a reason. I do. I am kind of envious of that in a weird way.
So do
you get to show someone?
Yeah, so you must be looking forward to that moment of the day where you get to read Lord of the Rings with her.
With what?
Your daughter.
Yeah, but he's finished reading it.
Oh, you finished them?
Yeah, we read it. No, my son. I read it with him. Yeah, but another thing, he might not be into it as much as her. And that's fine.
I was just trying to establish why you it's an obsession now.
Oh, because we've just done it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we've very recently just watched the last movie.
Okay.
And it was just like I was almost like, has your mum told you to say these things? Because she was literally just like, this is the best film I've ever seen. This is the best experience I've ever had. This is the best day of my life. And I'm like, oh my God, why?
Yeah. Our lives are meaningless now, aren't they?
No, do you think there's a part of her that is like, I want to make my dad happy?
Oh, she's such a people pleaser.
You know what I mean?
But she's not that manipulative.
No.
That we know of. So yeah, she is a people pleaser, but it was just her genuine feeling. She was so excited, and it was so nice. Yeah, we got lots of sweets and
that sounds great.
Snacks and stuff, and just sat and spent half a day.
I love
watching
movies.
this movie.
I love movies so much.
Yeah, and I
don't understand people who don't.
Hey, I'd love to sit and watch a film with someone. It's not my fault.
But it's the same thing. So people used to say to me, reading is so great. I don't understand people who don't read books. Yeah. And it was really because I just hadn't found any that interested me. I think it's the same. You've got movies you're super into.
Honestly,
it just needs to be made by the... It just needs to be...
like my big fat Greek wedding.
Yeah, 25 My Big Fat Greek Weddings. But what was the other one you said you watched the other day? That really... Why did you bring that up? Madeline.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Madeline. Shit, Matilda.
Not even close. No, it's not even in the same ballpark. Name begins with
I was thinking in my recovery. Oh, I can sit and watch some films for a bit. That might be quite nice.
Oh, shit, Annie. It reminded me of Annie.
Yeah.
But it's no fun watching films by yourself, is it?
No,
yes, it is. I watch films
some are, I watch quite a lot.
There's also this thing when you watch a movie with someone, well, you're not enjoying it because you're worried that the other person isn't.
A little bit, yeah.
And I've had that with Colleen a few times. It's like,
movies,
I want this. She's not enjoying
I'm
it.
half like.
Yeah,
do you like
it? Love it?
Do any listeners want to watch some films with me?
I'm sure there's lots of films I would watch.
We've tried it, and it was awful.
Yeah, it was all right. It was all right experience. Barbie was fun.
Oh, you watched Barbie again?
Oh, you're so horrible to
wasn't
me.
It was joking.
Well, no, I'm horrible to Nathan. Nathan's horrible to me.
What's he done?
Why are you making it out like it was a horrible experience?
I was joking.
I said it was lovely.
I said it was lovely.
I was joking.
You didn't want to watch a film
was joking.
Okay,
I don't want to watch Oppenheimer with you.
I'd watch a film with you, Hetty.
Okay.
Yeah. What was the one? Oh, Barbie was the one that came out at the same time. We watched it. I watched Barbie with you.
The next Big Fat Greek Wedding that comes out, I'll be there right with you.
No, I watched the third one recently. It was terrible.
Not very good.
Not so good. No.
What a surprise.
Oh my God. I think that might be why I like my beach hut neighbour, because she's Greek.
That's the only reason. Hey! Smashing plates.
I saw my friend the other day out and about. He's Greek, that's why my mind has gone here. And I was passing on my bike and I saw him and he was out walking his dog. I was coming up from behind and I rang my bell really loudly. And I went, "Hello, handsome!" Like shouted it quite loudly, and he turned around and it wasn't him.
That's great.
And when
Name
I,
and relationship.
Did you get his number?
and actually when I looked at it, it looked nothing like my friend Chris. Just had dark hair and a dog. That's how I know if he's watching this or listening to this.
Oh, yeah,
I haven't told him.
Let's wrap it up.
Did your favourite characters match? Who's your favourite characters in Lord of the Rings, and what are your daughter's favourite characters?
Oh, there was no one that didn't match up to how I imagined they would be. Maybe Gimli was a little bit, the dwarf was a little bit more comical in the movie than in the book, but he was still quite comical in the book. Like he still had a little bit of comic relief. Some of the lines
Which
he
one's
said.
Gimli again? Is
The
that the one
dwarf.
that Andrew's?
No, that's
Gollum.
Smeagol.
Gollum. Smeagol, very good. Yeah.
Who's Gimli
Smeagol.
then?
The dwarf, the only dwarf.
Oh, I have no idea.
Red.
In fact, is
Who's Smeagol then?
Andy
same
Serkis.
person.
Smeagol and Gollum
Smeagol
are the
and
same
Gollum are the
character.
same
Oh, that's what I thought
character.
they were.
Yeah,
Because he's Smeagol when he's a hobbit, and then when he gets the ring, he becomes a self-obsessed.
The-
then he becomes Gollum.
Gimli's
oh
the
my
one
God, am
that's-
I Gollum?
Oh, no. He doesn't come self-obsessed anyway. He's obsessed with the ring.
Obsessed with the ring.
Gimli is the one that sounds like Duncan.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does. Yeah.
Scottish one.
I actually, you think you're gonna watch Lord of the Rings now?
I don't know if you'll enjoy it.
I think you're lying.
So
Because I feel like I know a lot about it, but I feel I've only seen it once. I think I watch a
Possibly,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
memes and stuff.
there's so many memes.
Yeah.
Well, it's
from
one of
it.
those
The
things. It's
original
one of those
memes.
things that becomes part of pop culture.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah,
is.
it is. It's massively
Whereas-
pop
Take
culture.
take the Isengard. What was that?
They're taking the hobbits to
Yeah.
Isengard.
It
Potatoes!
makes sense that everyone knows Precious,
No.
don't they? And they're not really
Potatoes!
films.
Yeah.
Boil and mash 'em, stick 'em in the stew. Boil and mash 'em, stick 'em
that
in the
where
stew.
that's from?
Potatoes! Boil and mash 'em, stick 'em in the stew. Yeah, of course. So much.
But I really love the soundtrack, so I won't sit and watch the film, but I will happily listen to the
I
soundtrack.
put the soundtrack on
Yeah,
quite a lot.
I
But it was
listen to it
just
quite a lot.
the whole experience of the movies coming out was like a worldwide phenomenon. And I loved that. But before that, so I read The Hobbit, I loved it. I didn't even know about Lord of the Rings. What happened was, I think I wanted to do a school project, a literature review of The Hobbit. And my teacher was like, "You can't do The Hobbit, it's a children's book." And I was like, "Okay, I'll do Lord of the Rings then." And she was like, "Oh no," and she said, "You could do Lord of the Rings." I was like, "What's Lord of the Rings?" And that's when I read it and did a literature review on it as well, and I'd absolutely loved it. And so there was quite a long time between reading the books and the movies coming out, and there were just almost all fantasy entertainment has been inspired by Tolkien in some way. After those books, it's been inspired some way, and even Warhammer.
Warhammer, yeah.
The
Orcs
whole of
and that.
Warhammer?
Yeah, Warhammer. The whole of it is just
Take
cherry picked from Lord of the Rings. At least their fantasy game that they started with, and I played it as a kid because I wanted to have the little models and I wanted to experience more of Tolkien's world, and that's why I like Warhammer.
So it is quite a big part of your personality, isn't it?
I'm always drawn towards fantasy things. Yeah. And it's
And do you think
through
it just spawns
reading.
on from
It's
picking up The Hobbit?
It's definitely come from The Hobbit. Yeah. That was the gateway drug into dressing like an elf
Yeah,
at the
man,
weekend. I
yeah.
don't dress like an elf.
Because I've
I'd be an ogre, I think.
always steered away from that kind of stuff. Interesting. I don't
There's
know
definitely
why.
a stigma about it, but less so now.
Maybe it's because I wasn't into it when I was a kid. So as an adult, like I say, but Game of Thrones, I did get into it. But Game of Thrones was a bit more gritty and real, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
just tits, wasn't it?
Yeah, because it tits in it.
Because it wasn't all about
But
dragons and fairy
Game
tales,
of
was it?
Thrones
Not to the
was
end.
like revolutionary for like killing off characters, wasn't it? Yeah, that was quite a big thing about it.
Yeah, because people would people who hadn't read the books, scum. I was one of them. But you'd watch the series and you'd be like, "Oh, they're my favourite character," and then they die. And you'd be like,
I remember
"What?"
when what's his name? Who's the little shit fucking king? That little twat.
Joffrey.
God, when he died,
Oh, that was satisfying.
so
wasn't it?
good, wasn't it? Yeah.
4 seasons, didn't it take to kill him? Bloody hell, he hung
was an
around.
arsehole, wasn't he?
And then you lose bloody Sean Bean.
Yeah, first season.
Series 1.
I love Sean Bean as well. Always getting mixed up with Penn.
I liked.
Sean Bean, oh really?
Yeah, I do all the time.
They're both called Sean.
It's good, but yeah, Sean Penn, Sean Bean.
I liked Daenerys's bloke, not Jason Momoa.
No.
It was like a second-hand man.
Oh,
But the second one, not the first one.
yeah. Well, it wasn't the second one because it was the
They
same
replaced the
character, but they
but
replaced it.
different actor.
Wasn't the first one really like a blonde-haired,
Yeah, and then
pretty boy?
and then it was like
The second one was
yeah.
more rugged because in the
Rugged,
in the
handsome man.
books, he's meant to be a rugged guy and he's got like a big blue beard.
Yeah.
And I think that was the thing. I was like, his beard's not blue.
That actor is in the Guernsey Potato Peel Pie
Society
Literary
thing.
Society
Yeah.
film. That's one of my favourite films.
Oh.
I'll watch
I
it.
liked her, though. I really liked her in it as well.
Daenerys.
Daenerys.
Yeah.
She's good. She was good.
She's sweet as well. You've seen her in interviews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emilia
She's a
Clarke.
sweetheart.
Got big eyebrows.
I
Very expressive eyebrows.
I watched the first series of House of Dragons.
Oh yeah.
That's
Well,
supposed
there's
to be
only
good,
one.
That's
There's only one
supposed to be really
series,
good,
though.
though,
I
isn't
actually
it?
enjoyed
It
that.
Matt
is
Smith's
good.
in that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm currently reading the book.
Are you?
Yeah, I watched the series before I read the book, and then
I really like Matt Smith in it.
I didn't know there was a book. Which one is
Matt
he?
Smith's the one who was Doctor Who.
Targaryen.
Oh yeah.
I like
he is
him.
good,
He's an interesting man. He looks interesting.
got an interesting face.
Yeah, but yeah, striking
Yeah.
in
he's
a
good.
different way. I like that.
Do you want to go to New Zealand? Visit Hobbiton?
I would like to, but it's not on like my bucket list.
Nah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
No.
surprising.
Yeah,
I thought it'd be a
no,
nice
not
thing for you
really.
and your daughter
Where would
to
you
go
go
do.
before New Zealand?
Yeah, that is a really
Japan,
good idea.
Asia.
I didn't really consider it. That's why.
Like, because she'd love that,
She
wouldn't you?
would. Yeah, we could do that. She can take me when I'm old.
Yeah.
Yeah. People listening, do you love Lord of the Rings as much as me? Do you think you love it more? I'm not like a big authority on Lord of the Rings. I'm definitely that guy that when you're watching it and Aragorn kicks that orc helmet, I'm the one that goes, he actually broke his toe in that scene. Like that's me.
Oh, so you like the
Aw.
interesting things.
It's little bits like that. I just love it. I like sharing it with my children, and I think I'll always love it. And that's it.
I'm glad you shared it with us.
Although
I'm
I
really
don't
pleased-
like the Hobbit movies.
No.
I
No, they are bad. I
Yeah.
saw the first one. I thought I'm not going to bother.
It's just a problem with the movie making. There's
Yeah.
just so much CGI in it, and it just you
It's
completely
awful.
disengage with what's happening.
That was what I meant to ask you. As a Lord of the Rings fan, watching it again,
Oh god, it stands up.
does it stand up?
Oh yeah, because we watched it recently, and it's
Well,
like
in terms of like special effects and CGI, some of it was better back then than it is today.
Well, because
I saw a post that was genuinely like, is it me or is like CGI getting worse?
yeah.
And it is. Have you seen Aquaman? It's,
Well, it's-
fucking
A
shocking.
lot of it is because we are learning to recognize it. So when we see something, we're like, well, that's CGI, and we just completely disengage. We just check out.
Yeah, yeah. I
There,
don't
yeah.
like it. I don't like it when it's too
Whereas in
much.
Lord of the Rings, they were like, they just dressed up like
Hmm.
1,000 extras in armor they'd made by hand. They made like chainmail for 1,000 extras. I want to say it was 10,000 extras. I know in one of the battles there was an army of 10,000, but I think they filmed 1,000 and then just
But
kept repeating it. I
Wasn't
can't remember.
like the Andy Serkis as playing
Gollum. Yeah.
Wasn't that like the first time they kind of did that with the green screen and
It was the
I
best
feel
like
that was one of the
capture.
first-
So they did motion capture and they
Yeah,
put like
that's good.
spots all over his face and they recorded it and then they translated his facial expressions to the
yeah,
to
and
the
I feel like
animated
wasn't
character.
that one of the first
They
times
won
did
Oscars
that?
for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was the best example they've
Of
ever
it.
used
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
Yeah. So they won a lot of awards for that, and he started a company, a motion capture company,
That did that,
off
yeah.
the back of that because he was like the most experienced person in the world
At doing it.
at doing it and constantly being filmed and stuff. And so, yeah, it's really good. And Gollum stands up now. He just looks like a real character.
So do you think this is like the same realm as like Rocky, something that you dip into every now and then to go to sort of delve into?
Well, Rocky's
You know-
a nostalgia thing. More,
Yeah,
isn't it?
Rocky's very
But then
nostalgia.
this might be a nostalgia thing with you and your daughter.
I probably return to Rocky more than I do Lord of the Rings. But Lord of the Rings has had a bigger effect on my
fresh,
life.
isn't it?
It's
Yeah.
heavier, isn't it? You can't just watch Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't have as
I don't
much.
think you can just stick Lord of the Rings on.
I don't have as much of a craving to go, oh, I'm going to watch Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
today. But when we have watched it, it's so significant. Like,
Yeah.
you give up a whole weekend for it and get loads of snacks in and stuff. But Lord of the Rings has had a bigger effect on my life because so many other things I do and hobbies that I'm into have stemmed from that fantasy catalyst. Like my 3D printing and my Dungeons and Dragons and my
Keep listening.
Warhammer, yes. Oh yeah. There's loads.
Yeah.
So much to talk about. And this one I haven't even deep dived because we're gonna do. Will this come out before we do Comic-Con?
Yes.
Yes. So we should be doing a live show at Portsmouth Comic-Con, where I think I'm going to talk about Lord of the Rings on one of the days with Nathan. Hetty was meant to be there, but Hetty can't be there now.
Tuesday.
So it goes out on Tuesday. So the following Saturday will be at Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, we'll be at Portsmouth Comic-Con. I don't actually know the time slot. I think it's midday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's 12.
But we're doing a little show, a little live podcast recording with another podcaster, with Jeff Jones. Jeff makes it the world better. Is that it?
Yep.
Yeah.
We're going to do a joint show with him, and it'll be a lot of fun, and it'll be nice to see you there. Please come
Portsmouth
along.
Guildhall.
I want to give a shout out to Cara,
Please do.
who shares our reels. Really enjoyed the dogs episode. It was our favourite one so far. That was her feedback.
Thanks, Cara.
Thank you, Cara.
I enjoyed the dogs episode one a lot. Editing it.
I don't think it counts as feedback is from us.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does. People keep sending me pictures of dogs. Please continue to do that. I love
they?
it. Yeah, I love
They're
pictures of
loving.
dogs. Yeah, I think
Not even his obsession.
I think it's because I think it's because I've
I get
started.
jack shit for this podcast. Literally jack shit.
It's because you're always like, don't contact
me.
Oh, that's a good point, actually. And also, continue not sending me stuff.
But some of these dogs are lovely. I'll show you. I think it might be because I keep putting up pictures of dogs I meet.
Oh,
That's why I've started doing that, so people sending me pictures of dogs they've met, which is nice. I like that.
I'm
Please
still
keep
getting
doing
lots and lots of Lindy Hop feedback.
Oh, the Lindy Hop went crazy.
Yeah.
But all the analytics from that show me it's all over the world they're listening to the Lindy Hop.
Yeah, it's because that's why I wanted you to put Lindy Hop.
Well, I'm good.
Yeah.
I almost changed it to dancing.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
what do you mean?
no.
Because of the term Lindy Hop.
You
Yeah,
put Lindy Hop in it because if you're looking for Lindy Hop music to dance
that's
to,
that's
you
a good
search
point.
for Lindy Hop in Spotify and our podcast comes up quite high.
But with Lord of the Rings, they're daily. There's like a clickbait article which will be like, ooh, 5 reasons why Gandalf wasn't such the great guy you all think him to be. And then it's just like an article going, he wore a lot of grey, and grey is depressing. Gandalf's a wizard.
I always get
So
him.
Ian
No,
McKellen.
but I always get him mixed up
With Dumbledore?
Yeah,
Lots of people do.
don't know why.
So we say that. Oh, I want to say one
Well,
thing.
Scott.
Johnny Meese, lovely Johnny Meese, he told me about how he bought like £1,000 worth of streaming equipment, like as an obsession, and then realised he wasn't as good at Call of Duty as he thought he was.
Oh,
He
that's
gave it up.
funny.
I was like, that's brilliant. I will put that in the podcast, which I have done.
Did.
So once again, thank you very much for listening. Find us wherever you get your podcasts. What's the other things?
Keep sharing, keep telling,
Oh,
word of
yeah.
mouth.
It is really helping to share it, plug it, review it.
If you've
5 stars.
if you've listened to one episode, go and see if you like another one.
Yeah, try another one out.
Yeah.
Try a different hobby. And message us about past ones as well, if there is another hobby. Because I've had a few messages about wrestling, about the wrestling episode.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And I think they are going to send me some content, and then I'll push the wrestling one
I'm
again.
getting sent lots of pickle stuff.
Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely pickles. Yeah, no one sent me pickles. They keep sending me pictures of dogs and you pickles.
It's all
Swap them around. I want the pickles. All right, that's it. Is that it? Is that everything?
I think we're good.
God, really makes you think. Let's get out of it.